And that is why I think the aliens are going to take over, honestly. I said it in other episodes, but now we're just getting more proof. Anyway, we got to take some time out to pay some bills, since you people won't subscribe to the Patreon, we got to do ads. So here comes the ad, all right? If you don't feel like listening to the ad, go ahead and skip about 5 to 7 minutes. Sorry about that, but I'm trying to make it entertaining. All right. So we're going to talk about the four types of goods. All right. So we have private goods, public goods, common goods or common resources, and club goods. What are the differences? Oh, I'm going to tell you. Private goods are excludable and rivalrous. I don't know if I'm saying that word right. They're probably going to find me for that. Rivalrous? We're going to say rivalrous. These goods can only be used by one person at a time, and people who haven't paid for them can be prevented from accessing them. This is a private good. It says it right there, private. Examples could be like groceries, clothing, phones, cars, or your Netflix account. All right. The next one is a public good, and these are the exact opposite. So everyone has access to them, and one person using them doesn't diminish it. All right. So examples of this could be national defense, you know, or public fireworks, or street lights. Or if you share your password, it could be your Netflix account. You got mom, dad, and aunt in Connecticut. The next one is common goods or resources. These are non excludable but rivalrous. They are available to everyone, but the supply is limited. All right, examples of this could be fish in the ocean, fresh water, even though if you listen to this podcast, I think fresh water is unlimited, but that's just a government thing. Anyway, fresh water, public forests, or now that Netflix is cracking down, you can only have a certain number of family members logged in at the same time. Uh, that aunt in Connecticut, she's gonna have to figure it out. Pay her own $12.99. The last one is club goods. These are artificially scarce good. I spelled that wrong in my thing. They spelled it wrong. How they gonna send me this with it spelled wrong? Isn't that crazy? People can be prevented, but multiple people can enjoy them without depleting them. Examples, you guessed it, that Netflix account, but also gym memberships, cable, and hey, let's put back on our tinfoil hats. Bitcoin. It's a scam. It's a rich people scam. But we're on to the ad. We get back to the episode later. So we're going to talk about the different types of goods and how they have impact on firm behavior. When I say firm, I mean like companies, right? So private goods, they must continuously produce more to meet the demands. If more demands, we got to produce more. That's how this world works. Public goods are tricky because they usually require government assistance through taxing and grants. Like we said, the street lights, somebody got to pay for it. We all pitch in. Public parks, or that pothole on Main Street that just won't get filled. I'm gonna stop paying my taxes. I swear to God, I'm gonna stop paying it until they fill that pothole. Common goods run the risk of overuse, like we said with the example of the fish in the ocean, or let's say a pond. You got a pond in your local community that you pay HOA for, but that's why they have game wardens who come around to limit how many you can catch. You can only catch five a day, right? I don't know what you're gonna do with more than five fish, but that's why there's there. They're not just hating on you. It's a reason. Club goods cause companies to charge fees and memberships, so access can be restricted under the guise of security. Hey, we only charging you a gym membership, so you're not paying for the gym. You're paying to keep other people out who can't pay. You put your tinfoil hat on about that all you want. You're not paying for the gym. You're paying to keep the brokies out or the people who don't want to pay out. You're paying for the environment of people who are willing to pay. That's what it boils down to. They're not going to tell you, but that is what it boils down to. So now, what are the roles of the federal government and the private sector, right? So the U.S. federal government and the private sector both play important roles in providing goods and services, maintaining a stable economy. While private businesses are responsible for producing most goods and services in the marketplace, the government intervenes. See? The government intervenes when markets fail to allocate resources efficiently or fairly. This balance helps protect consumers and encourage competition and promote economic growth. Yeah. Like when the government buys out these car companies and these oil companies or banks to keep the prices low for the everyday user. And to keep the prices low. Yeah. Okay. Hey, as soon as I get done with this ad, I'm gonna tell you the truth. But to get paid, I'm gonna go through with the ad. But it sounds like a lot of malarkey. Lastly, what are externally? That's another word. What is this? Externality. And what are their effect on firms and goods? Okay, so externalities are costs or benefits that affect individuals or groups who are not directly involved in an economic transaction. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Why do we got to pay? You know, but that pothole. They occur when the actions of consumers or producers have unintended effects on others. Unintended effects on others. Okay, let's see what they say about this. Now I'm getting a little interested. They're going to tell the truth. Um, Welcome back to the Truth Podcast, but we get back to that. An example of a negative one is like when a factory starts producing air pollution, or that big block Chevy with the diesel exhaust is flowing around town. Everybody knows that guy. And we're not impressed. And I don't think the girls are impressed. You say you're doing it for the girls. The girls aren't impressed. The dudes aren't impressed. Stop it. Stop it. And you're polluting the air. So, no. Get them out of here. Yeah, find that dude. A positive example is education. Students benefit from the education. They gain knowledge, and in turn, it makes a stronger workforce. So why isn't education free? Why isn't it free? We're gonna get to it. Welcome back to the Truth Podcast. Governments often intervene to address externalities, to reduce negative externalities. Governments may impose taxes. Yeah, that's why they do it. Regulations or fines. For example, a carbon tax could be the cost of pollution and encourages businesses to adopt cleaner technologies. Environmental regulations may also limit emissions or require firms to follow specific safety standards. Overall, understanding externalities is important because they demonstrate how individual economic decisions can affect entire communities. All right, so we made it through the ad, but we're going to talk about some of this stuff that was mentioned in this ad because it's right on the topic that we was talking about here with the Truth podcast, talking about these aliens, right? So sit back,